With the advent of spring, finally Edwin Drake came upon a driller. William A. Smith, Uncle Billy as he was called round about, and Drake was darn lucky to get him. A salt well driller from Tarentum, Uncle Billy agreed to work for $2.50 a day. Billy was also a blacksmith, which meant that he could make the drilling tools the Drake operation would need. To boot, Smith threw in the services of his teenage son, Sam. For the record, it was the white-haired, bearded Uncle Billy who constructed the derrick and the engine house that would result in arguably the world's first oil well. Canada, West Virginia, and Kentucky contest the validity of first. However, this author and many others concede this privilege to the great Keystone State, and it is with pride that I affirm here that Drake Well in Titusville, Pennsylvania, gave birth to the modern oil industry. During the course of the next year, the operation was not without its problems. Water and cave-ins bedeviled Uncle Billy until Drake, who was running out of money, got a brilliant idea and solved the tribulations with his invention of the drive pipe. Drake drove by horse and buckboard to Erie, Pennsylvania, where he purchased pipe sections made of cast iron, each 10 feet long. Back at the Titusville operations, he and Uncle Billy fitted the sections of pipe together, driving the 32-foot pipe through the ground into the bedrock below. This allowed them to drill inside the pipe, without the earth collapsing from water seepage. The principle behind this idea is still used today by many companies drilling for hydrocarbons. Readers, hardly anyone had much faith in Edwin Drake. The locals called his well Drake's Folly, whilst the Seneca Oil Company continuously lost patience with him. From the outset, Seneca sent very little money to fund the project, finally stopping funding altogether, forcing Drake to use what little money he had. By August, Edwin's money had run out. He was so broke there was virtually nothing left to feed his family. Thus it was a godsend when two local businessmen decided to help. They guaranteed a loan of $500 for him. It meant food on the table, and he could continue his work at Drake Well. By mid-August, drilling had progressed to about 3 feet a day. At the end of the day, on Saturday, August 27, 1859, Drake and Uncle Billy were drilling through the layers of sandstone and shale when, all of a sudden, the drill dropped 6 inches. This had never happened before, but Drake and his driller figured the drill had simply dropped into a crevice. The incident bothered them not at all. However, weary from their grueling hot labor, they acquiesced to aching muscles and rumbling bellies and decided to call it a day. The next day, Sunday, Uncle Billy went to check on the well, taking his son Sam with him. When he looked down into the shaft, Billy saw a dark liquid floating on the surface of the groundwater. He reached for a piece of tin eave spouting, rolled it, fashioning it into a sort of cup. Then, plugging one end, he attached a cord to it and lowered it down into the hole to scoop out a sample. What he drew up was the first Pennsylvania crude from the world's first oil well.